What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Cassis on the Block. You guys enjoyed the Gerda Waffle experience so much, we decided to do it again, and not unfortunate things are happening to our coworkers. That is definitely not what is happening. Gerd, how are you doing today?
I'm tired and I want to go to Collision already.
Oh yes, Collision is in a week. That's fun.
That's scary. That's
I'm
too scary for me to
that
think
is
about
pretty
right now.
scary. Yeah, I mean, let's just focus on Smash Ultimate Summit because that's coming up this weekend, and it is
Did we
the
talk about how Summit was closing last week?
no because it happened Monday.
It happened
It
Monday?
happened Monday.
Oh
Doesn't it
my
feel
god.
like a universe away?
Yeah,
It's been a long week.
it has been a long week. But
So
yeah,
what?
Summit closing. We don't know who the casters are yet, I don't think.
No, we don't. That's actually a good
So,
point. Isn't it media day? Like yesterday or today?
Summit's not this
Oh, it's
weekend.
not this weekend. When is
No,
it?
it's like it's the last weekend of March.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of time still for
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was this weekend.
it's not.
Interesting.
But yeah, that'll be interesting to see in terms of casters. Um, in terms of local news in New England, there's not been that many tournaments in terms of commentary. The last one was Mash Harder, which we talked about last week,
Yes,
right?
we did talk a lot about Mash Harder. We can recap Mash Harder.
Oh, right, because that happened after the podcast.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
we previewed it and then we recap it
okay,
in good podcasting fashion.
yeah. So we already talked about whose block was in who. So you and Ritual
Yes,
were
Wave B
Wave
pools.
B. I actually was VOD reviewing, going off track for a minute. You guys were on there for like about an hour and a half, I think,
Yeah, I
which is like
know. Which
really
was like
nice.
which was super nice, but also like I felt for my brothers in arms, the people who came before us, because both the blocks before us got 3 sets respectively, and then we got like
Oh,
6. So that was kind of fucked
so
up.
that's fine.
That's fucked up.
Better commentators moment.
Dang, calling them
Better
out.
commentators
I
moment.
don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know
Hey, hey,
about all
hey, hey,
that.
hey, hey, hey. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I just think that schedule sucked. that
The
for those.
so the Mash Harder slash. I mean, it's mostly Mash Harder, and I guess it affects the Arcadian too. The schedule is like that because of Balance Patch, because they
Hmm.
don't open until 2,
Yeah.
so they can't start the bracket earlier like most monthlies where they start like a side event at 12. They have to start their side event at 3.
Hmm.
So it gets squished together. So that's why there's always been so many delays between doubles ending and singles starting. And that's why I don't really agree with the commentary blocks, but I mean, it's not my event. Um
Mm.
just because there's if you do like just top 6 of doubles and then you do one set of commentators for each block. So not for each block, for each wave. So it'd be wave A and wave B. And
Hmm.
then maybe you split up top 8 into like the first half where you do 5 sets, which was my block. And then
Hmm.
you do the second half of top 8, which is basically just top 4.
Hmm.
You wouldn't have as many commentators, but you'd get more screen time and
Yeah.
actually time on the mic.
Okay.
So I think that's the preferred method. The only unfortunate part is less people get on the mic. But
Hmm.
like if you can get less people on the mic, maybe you could pay people more. Just like a slight amount. And better talent, more people get on. So
Yeah.
I
My opinion was, I don't. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the schedule was bad in theory, but it was just like, oh, let's do like 3 sets, get them out, 3 sets, get them out, and then we just ended up with like 6 sets, and it's like, well, that's not really. We're all pools commentators. Like, why do we get
yeah,
the
tell me about
most
it.
for
Tell
just
me
being
about
in the
it.
end?
It
It just
just
feels weird.
I mean that's just how they do it, but they also prioritize a lot of matches for stream,
Hmm.
especially towards the end of pools where they're always going to be streaming like the winners semis matches and then like the match to get to top 12. Like they're always going to stream that. I don't know why. I think they should just prioritize getting it done. Obviously you want casters to have more opportunities on the mic, but at the same time, through your logistics, you kind of just need to get it done.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because you need to start the next wave. But not my tournament. I think by the time top 12 started, they were about an hour late based on what the schedule said on their end. But I mean, at that point, it's like it didn't really matter too much.
But when do regionals ever run on time? That's my question.
So for me, if I ever say my tournament starts at like, let's say we start Squad Strike as a side event, and it says it starts at 12, I will always use quotation mark hand gestures to say 12 because it never starts at 12 because I'll always start at like 12:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at that point, anyone that's not there by 12:30 is not showing up, or if they are showing up, they're showing up late.
Yeah.
So I can get away with it. And it's the same thing for singles. Like RNH 9 and almost all the RNHs have started late. Instead of starting at 3, it starts at like 3:15, 3:30 at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm running pools, I'm probably starting on time, like almost definitely, and I'm going to be more strict about DQs and like late attendees. But I mean, it's fine. As long as you get it done within your time frame, like balance patch closes at a certain time, so they really need to like grind the rest of the bracket out as fast as possible.
Gotcha.
But for my venue, it's not that big of an issue because we could be there until 12, and it wouldn't be an issue. We just have to clean up afterwards, which would suck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that bad for us. But yeah, pools commentators have it rough at Mash Harder because we want more screen time, but not everyone does.
Yeah. One thing I would like to add, here's my solution. We just don't stream doubles cuz fuck doubles.
No, it's not even streaming doubles is a problem. I guess if you stream doubles, you're going to stream all of it, right? If you're going to stream the beginning, you're going to stream to the end. I think you still stream doubles. My problem is that they're doing doubles, and I think doubles is boring. So I think they should do Squad Strike. Just saying. Because it's not like you're not going to stream doubles when you can just stream singles. Because you can still get rid of as many matches as possible in like Wave A. So like I was a Wave A pool captain at Mash Harder. Mm-hmm. I can just keep calling matches and not allocate it stream. It doesn't really matter from my perspective. But obviously if you're a commentator, you want to have like Dolan versus Doucette on stream because that's a hype-ass match.
And it was a good set.
It was a very good set. And then there was another one where it was Brujo Paulo, but that was a losers, so you can't really put that one on stream. But it was a really good set. It was 2-1 Paulo in the end. And another one was Doucette Paulo, where it was very close to one side. So, very close.
Yeah. Yeah, I just felt bad for the homies who only got 3 sets because I was that person at Mash Harder 4.
It's
even though like it does like make or break a commentator, like how well you can do with those 3 sets, you know?
No, it definitely does, but at the same time, I think most of the commentators that take commentary seriously did get more blocks. So I had 5 from top 8 or top 12, whatever you want to call it. You and Ritual had 6. You said, right?
It was like that? 6.
Okay, so it's probably 5 or 6 is my guess.
I could count them in my head right now.
Yeah, because you had a few game 3s, which took longer per set, so I could see.
Well,
5
we
or
had
6.
we had both the winners finals of the pool, so
yep,
that's 2. We had Sauce 6 a.m. We had Unleashed versus.
I thought you had
Yossi.
Tyler 6 a.m.
We had Tyler 6 a.m. too.
Oh,
so that's 4, and then Unleashed Yossi, and then Ryan versus somebody else.
Okay, so that's
6.
A lot of sets.
So it was 6, yeah.
So just going back, it's like all the people who actually take commentary seriously did have longer blocks. So it's mostly you and Ritual, me, Winters, AG, Ajax, No, not Ajax. Has.
Ajax. Ajax was there. Oh my god.
No, I wish. I wish. I'm on my CT GamerCon brain where I'm trying to do blocks. And then like Captain Q who did top 6 of doubles. So obviously I want more non like super serious casters to maybe get more time on the mic. But the casters that kind of needed to get more screen time got more screen time.
I'm just saying, everyone could have gotten 4.
Yeah.
Everyone could have just gotten 4.
It all depends on your logistics.
Yeah.
It works out for them, so it just works out in the end. I do
Yeah.
wish it was a little bit better, but
Yeah. What can you do?
yeah, because I think Mash Harder 5, I had 5 blocks, or not 5 blocks. I had 5 sets for top 12. The previous Mash Harder that I went to, which was Mash Harder 3, you know how like they split up Wave B into 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
I did the full wave because I don't really remember specifically why, but I did like that first half of a wave and then I did the second half of a wave, but I had a different commentator each time.
Interesting.
So I got more sets in that tournament than normal, which I'm happy about.
Okay.
But it is a little rough because, you know, this event only happens 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And you're getting 3 blocks.
Well,
so
despite it only happening 3 times a year, we do have the Arcadian coming up.
yes, but it's gonna have the same schedule.
Same schedule.
Same exact schedule. Actually, this is a fun little tidbit because I noticed it as a TO who uses StartGG way too much. The BSB TOs literally copy pasted their format from Mash Harder onto the Arcadian. It's literally the Mash Harder like StartGG page.
That's
except
funny.
they changed the graphic assets. So like the banner and the StartGG like tournament icon into the Arcadian.
That's
Everything else
awesome.
is the same. I assume there's like some logistics in the back end that prevents like Light and Mars and other New England PR players from actually entering singles, but for the most part, they basically just copy pasted Mash Harder, which I thought was a fun.
Tyler's not on the New England PR, right?
Tyler?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He is.
So the Arcadian, it's the 2 most previous PR seasons.
Oh, so he
that
was on
makes
the one
someone
before that,
ineligible.
right?
Yeah, so it's
Oh, okay. Okay,
so
I forgot about that
this
one.
current season doesn't count. So whatever, this is winter. Yeah, this is winter 2023. This season doesn't factor into the Arcadian. Only the summer PR season to the fall PR season. So I think from July 1st to December 31st, only that time matters. Whoever got PR'd in that period for New England, those are the people that are ineligible to play for singles. They can play doubles.
Doubles. Yeah.
They have to do it with a non-New England PR player. So Light and Mars cannot team with each other, but Light and Dawn can team with each other because Dawn is not New England PR.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's exactly how they stole the format from Vortex Heroes. I'm just saying.
Dude, that's been a thing for forever.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm just saying.
Trying to gaslight the viewers.
I am.
Into thinking.
What do you think my role in this podcast is?
That is true.
my role is to cause chaos and stir up the people at home, get them confused, get them all confused. So yeah,
but do we want to move on to talking about GamerCon because hopefully we'll have a what's it called, another podcast next week.
Yeah, we could talk about.
So hopefully I'll be there next week.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I have to travel.
Are we even having a podcast next week? You guys are going to Collision, and
oh wait, it's not next week. I mean, 2 weeks,
from
whatever.
now.
So we can talk about. We don't have to talk about that specifically on the podcast.
Can I do my Beyond the Summit tribute? Because I just wanted I wanted to talk a lot about that because obviously Beyond the Summit is like one of the top 2 most influential parts about the Smash scene, and personally since like 2015 when they had the first Smash Summit, they have been a huge part of my life, and like to this day I still watch like Smash Summit 1 commentary highlights, like, you know, like I'll watch like not even commentary. I'll watch like sets from like Smash Summit 2 and stuff like that. Like the shared controller tournament, that shit was hype. I love that tournament. Like the amount of like content that they oh my god, the content, the skits, I still watch those to this day. Don't even get me started about stalling. That shit is hilarious.
My favorite skit might have to be the one where they talk about the history of Melee. I
The
think it's
history of Smash,
Melee
history
Summit,
of
Melee 8.
yes. Yes. I
That
don't
one's such. I haven't watched that recently, but I remember watching it like a little bit ago, and I'm like, man, I remember watching this when it like came
dude.
out.
Dude, Wombo combo. And it's like he's like a poet, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Where are you at? Where are you at?"
Where? And then at the end, it's just Mango and all the other characters that happened in the entire scene. With like, it's pretty. I think did they say it was pretty cold in here?
Yeah, I don't
Pretty warm in
remember.
here.
I don't remember. Oh, I
Yeah,
gotta
it's like
watch
the
that again.
end of time and the end of like space, and it's
Yeah.
just fucking Mango.
I know that this year is the year we're supposed to get like a neural implant for Smash, so that's cool.
Are we really?
Yeah,
I
it's
thought that was later.
It's 2023.
Oh my god. I mean,
So,
that's
yeah,
just fob. That's
that's
just fob.
that's hype, right? The fob.
Yeah, yeah, it's just fob. They predicted fob.
they
It's just not a
predicted
neural
fob.
implant, but I mean, if you use the term neural implant into your GameCube controller,
That is true.
I mean,
That
that could work out.
the people who wrote that were on some shit. Some
Yes.
some other skits that are great. There's one from like Smash Summit 2, or it's like one of the early ones where
Melee?
where Scar is just reading like one of his really bad like old commentary bits, and Toph is just in the room laughing. It's like so funny.
I actually don't know if I've seen that.
It's I'll link it to you, but it's like it's not even a skit. It's just Scar being like, ugh, and like Toph just laughing at the things he said, and I'm like, like it just works. I'm like, it just
Yeah,
works
it's
really well.
it's a shame that Summit is closing, especially
Yeah.
with the news that Summit's closing. Top players such as Leo, Tweak, Sonics are all leaving their orgs or whatever reason. I don't know if they got dropped. I don't
It's-
know if they just financially didn't want to be there or contract negotiations didn't work. I don't know. They're not on the orgs anymore. On top of, we've already lost SWT. Panda died. Rip
Mhm.
Panda.
Rip.
Um, there was something else I'm forgetting. Oh, and Steve's banned, but like that's not even like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like
If-
it matters, but
If
like,
if you ask any Steve hater, they'll tell you that's a good thing. That's a positive for the
Yeah.
scene. I don't really agree or disagree. I'm just like, whatever, man, do your thing. I
Yeah.
did agree with Tweak Talks' sentiment that it's like if we ban this character, it's the only shot we have of getting him fixed and like in a balanced state. And I was like, okay, that's like a good
I
point.
can see it, but I don't know if that'll actually happen.
I don't think it's if Nintendo sees that he's banned. I think if Microsoft sees that he's banned, I think that's
Why Microsoft?
because they own Steve. They own Minecraft.
Oh, like they don't want
They
Steve's
don't-
reputation
Yeah,
to
they
be
do-
worse because of a Smash Bros game
Yeah.
where he's broken.
Well, that and also like he's just on the screen less, so less marketing.
I don't know how that. I don't know
I
how
don't
that
know.
connection's gonna work.
Look,
if I'm
I
being
don't know,
honest.
man. But I feel like Nintendo's not gonna do shit. They let Bayonetta destroy Smash 4. I think
Yeah.
the only shot we have is if Microsoft is like, "Whoa, our character can't be banned."
Yeah.
They probably spent, or I don't know how these things work, but they probably like had to negotiate a very long time to get Steve in there, right? Just for him to get banned. So somebody's mad. Whoever
but,
spent
like,
money in that
you gotta
negotiation.
remember that the Smash Ultimate competitive scene is a very niche portion of the actual player base. So, casual fans, which represent a majority of the player base, don't give a shit about PMLG
True.
and Steve's ban from tournaments. So, like, they have no impact on that. Like, unless it really matters to Microsoft's branding of Steve
Yes.
and Nintendo's just willingness to actually listen to us, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I am
unless there's like unless it's like the game freezes type of hot fix.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna get patched. But this
Yeah.
is so I don't think it's urgent enough.
I
for
think you're
Nintendo to do
right.
anything.
But I wanna huff that copium. I want to huff that copium so much.
I do too.
I do not want Steve banned personally, but like I don't know, like if this is what the community, it's inevitable at this point with like players like MK Leon, Spargo tweeting out ban Steve, like it's just inevitable, which is kind of sad, but
It doesn't really affect me because then, as casters, we don't have to learn about Steve's bullshit.
oh my god,
That's the one thing I was dreading is
you
trying
know-
to learn all the Steve tech.
I-
where like on this stage he has a pickaxe,
yeah,
but on this stage he has a shovel, and this
Mhm.
is how it interacts differently. And you can get these materials faster on this stage. I'm like, I don't want to learn that.
there's like a chart like somewhere
There is a
online,
chart, but I don't want to learn it.
and I had the chart and I learned it for like a week. And then I stopped going to tournaments and I forgot it. And I was like, man, I don't want to ever do that ever again. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny because I don't put very much effort into like doing research on characters, which is like probably a bad thing. But like Steve is the one character where I was like, man, I want to know everything so I can like not be ignorant on the mic.
I suppose. But going back a bit, the Smash Ultimate like larger scene is kind of in trouble, but not too much in trouble. We also have SmashCon being
Yes.
officially announced.
That's
I don't know when registration goes live, but it is August 8 through 11?
10 through 13.
10 through 13. I'm dumb.
That was close. You were close. Don't say you're dumb.
I knew it was that second weekend. It's always that second weekend, but I would always want to go, but I probably won't, which sucks.
Yeah, I want to go, but I don't think I will be able to this year.
I probably can.
I
but
can for sure.
I choose not to.
I don't know if I'm off that weekend or not, but
Fair. I mean, that's 5 months away.
yeah. And yeah. Anyways, SmashCon is huge because of multiple
Because
reasons.
it's not
One,
dead.
one because VG Bootcamp are running a tournament again.
Right.
Like that's the first time they will be running a tournament since Super Smash Con, or since Smash World Tour
Apex.
shut down. So that's really huge because there was big murmurs that we had maybe lost VG Bootcamp, but they did take
in terms of like majors.
in terms of just running majors, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty huge. That's really good news. But also, I think that the whole, I was talking about it with you like what on the last Skirt and Waffle experience where I was like, we need less majors. There's too many majors.
I mean, Pound got killed, I would assume. All of the glitches got killed.
Yeah.
SWT got killed. Hardcore. So now there's just a little bit less majors. So I know Riptide is coming up in terms of its formal announcement, so that's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I think, Low Tide City coming up relatively soon. You have Collision, obviously, next week. You already had LMBM. You have SmashCon. You have Major Upset, which is becoming huge as shit
Yes.
in Oregon. Like, there's some decent majors still
Yeah.
for Smash.
I agree.
Is it as stacked, and is there one every literal weekend?
No.
Oh, I also forgot to mention, Double Down probably got killed, too.
Double Down. I don't know if it's killed forever, but Level Up Expo was just Double Down.
No, it wasn't.
Like it was the same tournament. It was the same weekend. It just wasn't run
Was
by
it really?
VG Bootcamp. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
then
where did
what organization ran the event?
Level Up? Well, whoever, like, it wasn't like.
Oh, it's like Level Up Expo. Just
Yeah, it was
itself.
just like Gimmer Kuntio, basically. It was just somebody else.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Was it really that weekend?
So yeah, it was the same weekend apparently.
Because I thought it was in July.
I don't know. I think they changed it.
Oh, right, because of COVID. They changed
Yeah.
it a bunch because of COVID before. I don't know. It's too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was supposed to be early in the year, and
Yeah,
then
it
they
was supposed
changed
to be, like,
it. Didn't they
super
change
early.
it? Didn't they change it to like Evo weekend or like the weekend after Evo or something?
No, it was like the month before Evo.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was in July.
Oh, Evo was in August this year. I forgot about that.
Evo's always the first weekend in August.
Is it really?
Yes.
Am
always.
I think that's been. I
It's
think
been,
I've been.
for as long as I've been watching Evo, it's been that weekend, and I'm
I
pretty sure
think
past Evos have always been the first weekend of August.
I think I've been Mandela affected because I don't know
Yes,
why,
you
but I
have.
feel like I've watched Evo in July before.
You might have, but it might have been so specific with the calendar where it actually kind of like leaned into July. But in terms of
Maybe.
recency, it has always been the first weekend of August.
Interesting.
Because I always remembered when Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate were a thing at Evo, or
Rip.
Melee too,
Yeah.
where it was Evo was the first weekend in August, then it was SmashCon, and then it was kind of a break,
Oh, that's
and
true.
then it was Shine.
Yeah.
That was like the summer August month of big events for Smash.
Yeah, I do remember that because Evo would always get like mad entrants, and then SmashCon would get considerably less, just because like Evo happened the week before, and everyone probably get
Not even true because that's
no,
like
but
two.
they still had a lot. Don't get me wrong, and like
SmashCon is, I think, still the biggest
I think
Smash tournament.
I think the early days of SmashCon it wasn't as big. Maybe
No,
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
thinking
yeah,
of.
but like more recently, I think it's becoming like that is like the event to go to if you're a Smash player.
Yeah.
Is you go to SmashCon or Genesis, but I think after the previous Genesis, I'm like I'd probably rather just go to SmashCon. Were
Um,
you were you impressed by Genesis 9?
was I impressed?
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know, it felt
yes.
off.
I don't
It
know.
felt off.
I
I don't
felt
know.
good to me. It just didn't have the theater.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have the theater.
They probably because they probably couldn't afford it.
They've had the theater for like how long?
A long time. Well, like this is
Since
this is the
Smash 4.
this is the thing that I wanted to say about like the whole we're in like a Smash recession basically. Like a lot of that is because of like real world economics.
I guess.
like
Venue prices are going up
like
too.
inflation has been crazy, like mortgage rates are like high, like everyone's like borrowing money. You know, you can go on Amazon and they're like you want to buy this thing in like 4 payments, and it's like no. Why would I do
Yeah.
that?
I see that all the
Like
time and I never
that
take it.
like isn't that exactly how the Great Depression started? Like everyone
Oh.
was taking like loans on stuff that they couldn't afford, and then like the housing market like crashed, and like everyone was in debt. That's like basically how we're like basically gonna have another Great Recession in like 20 years after the other one,
Mhm.
basically. But yeah, like I think this is just normal for a game that has zero developer support. Like, oh, the economy's kind of messed up right now, so we just kind of have to downsize a little bit, and that's probably a big reason why um, Beyond the Summit had to shut down too. Is like things are expensive
Yeah,
nowadays.
I venue costs have been going up considerably. I remember the first Shine, I think max venue fee was like $50.
That's sick.
Yeah, I remember like that was 2016, and now I think the early bird registration is 60 for Shine, and I think late is like 100. And
Wow.
then I remember when CEO got announced because I want to look at I wasn't going to go to CEO, but I was curious. I'm like, "Oh, I wonder how much it is," cuz people were talking about it on my timeline. And they said like early bird registration for CEO was like $90. Regular registration is like 100.
Ugh.
Yeah, tell me about it. Granted, it's like a giant event. Like it's huge.
Yeah.
There's so many games. The accommodations are incredible. Location's kind of nice. Daytona. I don't know if they're in Daytona this year. No, they're not. They're in Orlando. Yeah, they're in Orlando
Isn't
this year.
that better than Daytona?
I don't know.
I don't
I've
know
never
shit.
been
I don't
to.
know
I've
shit
only been
about
to
Florida.
Orlando and I went there once and I barely remember it.
I barely leave the Northeast.
Tell me about it. But yeah, it's like venue prices have been increasing, so it's just been a little unfortunate because like that $20 increase per person, it's not a lot compared to like how much they're probably gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
So sucks on that end.
I think I was listening to Blur and Tafa's podcast, and they were saying like tournaments are probably just gonna have to like go like to the city outside of Orlando to make a tournament, you know? Like go to like like more rural towns and like cheaper locations. Like this is why all of our tournaments are in Texas. This is literally why. Because
The problem with that
it's
is
so
then
cheap.
it's an accessibility issue
Yeah.
because not everyone is gonna have a car to go. Like that's why LMVM is such a good major, because you can fly in, you can take a bus in, you can take a train in, you can drive in, or if you live close, you can walk.
Mhm.
Probably not. It's in downtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many ways you can get to LMBM. But if you go to, I don't know, Low Tide City or Riptide, where it's in the middle of fucking Ohio, like how are you gonna get there
That's
like
true.
reliably? There's no good infrastructure.
Did you do you know about the uh the Ohio like Uber problem?
No.
Apparently there's like one woman who like owns all the people on Uber, and that they like don't like you're not able to get an Uber unless you call her. It's really weird.
How?
I don't know. I heard about this on the Yard podcast like around last year's Riptide. It was such a weird like story about how he was just trying to find an Uber, and then somebody just like gave him this number, and he called a woman who like owned everyone, and then he found an Uber. It was crazy.
That's really weird.
That is really weird. Um, yeah, no, like not like necessarily like having to like do your tournament in the middle of nowhere like Idaho or something, but like you know how like
Yeah, what's
Shine
the Idaho PR looking like?
what's the Idaho PR looking like? You can look that up. But like you know how Shine moved from like center of Boston to Worcester?
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Sucks.
more of that stuff is going to happen, you know, for
It
like tournaments to
sucks.
stay alive.
It
It
sucks.
sucks, but you know, it's what you got to do in these
I'll
trying
still go to
times.
Shine regardless. I don't care. I'm too loyal to Shine to not go, but it moving from Boston to Worcester broke my heart. But I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
They're
Copium.
going to try to find a new venue. From
That's
what
good.
I've been told
Yeah.
because they have a contract with the DCU Center.
Till this year. This is their last year,
I believe
right?
so. I think because they tweeted about it.
They tweeted about it because everyone was like, "Dang, this tournament experience sucks," and they were like, "Fuck the DCU Center, we get it. We're also pissed."
Yeah. And yeah, so 2024 Shine, I'm praying that they're finding a new venue somewhere
Mhm.
in New England. It doesn't have to be in Massachusetts. Granted, Massachusetts probably like is the most centralized
Part of
for
New England.
New England.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's easiest to get to from all the states as a like a central hub. Like if you have it in Rhode Island, it's gonna be very hard for people from Vermont or Maine to go down there.
Also, like, mass. What? No.
Ritual has joined the podcast.
Oh,
Woo!
are you like recording your audio? Like, so no one can hear you. This
Yeah.
is great. This is awesome. I'm talking to a ghost. That's great.
Ritual's talking, but we can't hear her.
Woo!
Just cut it, cut it, cut it. Go
Just
away,
cut
go
it.
away.
Okay, bye. Good luck.
Woo.
Woo! Wait. I wanted to say something.
Yeah, so say
Um,
something.
I feel like Mass probably just has the most like infrastructure for it too. Like, does Rhode Island really have many places
I
to
think
do
they
this?
have a few, but it's whether they have the ability to fit something like a major.
Exactly. Like,
So I mean, Connecticut could also do it
yes.
as well,
And
but it's whether they have the space.
yeah, I don't know if Connecticut does. And we're
Like,
also
what
a very
about the Connecticut Hartford Convention Center?
well, is that where the BGC regional is happening?
That is the VGC.
I have no idea. I've never been there, but if it can
Okay, I haven't either.
if it could
So,
hold a VGC regional, it probably can.
I don't know. It's not like
We
Shine needs a lot of space.
yeah.
Like this is not trying to be PAX level of space where it's this giant ass fucking hall. It's mostly just trying to be like a decent sized convention center, but not too big. Because the Shine one at the Seaport District wasn't. It was big. It was very big
Hmm.
for an event that I went to my first time. But compared to something like LMBM, like LMBM was very small for a major in terms of space compared to Shine. But
Hmm.
it's not like it needs to be probably like CEO levels of big, but it depends. Like Shine in 2019, 2022, well, now they're in Worcester. That's like a good fit. It's just that the venue sucks itself.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting to see how a lot of tournaments survive in this kind of environment too. Because
mhm.
like I feel like this notion that Smash was dying like before Beyond the Summit, like before like before Smash World Tour shut down, before Panda disbanded, like I feel like the notion that Smash was dying before then was like so false. Like tournaments are
Even
cap
now, it's still false.
dude, tournaments are capping out at insane rates.
Yeah,
Like Gommel has Gommel capped?
I wouldn't know.
I know like
Oh
in
yeah, because we also have Gommel and we have Battle of BC.
yes.
Yeah, we still have those too.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
we Smash isn't dying.
we're
Fuck
fine.
the haters.
We're fine.
Fuck the haters.
We just
I literally tweeted about it where just looking at New England itself, like we obviously don't have another major, right? We only have Shine. Our biggest secondary regional is CT GamerCon that's actually in like a convention center
mhm.
and that's like will get more than 128 people because other than Shine which can get like 200 plus people, like 256 plus for regional, which is what Shine had. CT GamerCon is the literal next highest attended event by a long
Let's
shot.
go gambling.
Because
Woo!
GamerCon last year got 167, and no other New England, of all the 6 states, had that many people other than GamerCon. And then probably the next one up probably would have been one of the Mash Harders.
Mhm. Match harder.
So
The last one got 95 people. That was pretty nice.
96, yeah. I
Well,
mean, so
what was
Mash
it?
Harder 2 capped. It was either Mash Harder 1 or Mash Harder 2. I don't remember. I think it was Mash Harder 1. It literally capped at 128 people, which is insane. Um, but like that's not at like a big convention center. That's a balance patch, and the room is kind of small for
Mhm.
128 people, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But it's a good tournament nonetheless. But we don't have big events. Like if you think about like Tri-State, they have so many big events. They have No Johns as a regional. They had Momo's Mid-Off, which was basically a regional.
Mhm.
They have Collision. They have LMBM. They had Apex.
Dang.
Like they're fine too. And if we
Yeah.
go back to just New England, it's like our events are still doing really well. Like there might be a local that pops up and then dies, but that's because it popped up and it died. All the other existing locals are still doing fine. There are a few that are like dropping in numbers, and there are a few that are just kind of like not flatlining as in dead, but kind of more plateauing
Uh huh.
in terms of gaining more attendees. But like that's not a bad thing. We're still getting 30 people in locals some of the time, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
If it's still like consistently above like 16, you're fine.
Yeah. What I want also like to add on to that, Vortex got like 10 brand new faces like last Tuesday.
Nice.
So that's like really nice. And like to add on to that point was like the reason we do this is because like we need to give those people who like Smash an outlet to play Smash and to make friends.
Yeah.
Because I'll be the advocate for that. I was that person who really didn't have very many friends before the Smash community. Like I had friends in high school because I played soccer, and like I kind of liked them. I didn't really
You were
like,
friends by proximity.
you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, these guys are funny sometimes. And then I was like, and I kind of got bored of them because we didn't have very much in common other than soccer. But then
I felt that.
and I kind of just fell out of it. And then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, dang, I don't really talk to very many people except for like my coworkers. Like,
Hmm.
I need a social outlet. And then, Vortex happens, and I'm like, I live kind of close to Vortex. This is really nice. Um, and that like really like was part of getting me out of my like really bad depressive state. And I feel like there are a lot of people out there who need something like this. And if we just give up, it's like we are preventing people from having this outlet. So I think it's also like very important for us as community leaders and like TOs, you know, a VGC TO here, put my name in there. Um, to not like, even though like times are hard and it's probably the hardest time to like be a TO with all like the decisions going around, like Steve Bann, like economics are looking bad. Like we need to keep pushing on because we gotta do it for the next generation
For the
because
people.
we're not gonna be here forever. Let's be real. I hope I'm not playing. I'm not going to Smash tournaments when I'm 50 and I have kids. you know,
You still could. I
I
mean,
still
Alex
could.
Valle is fucking 40 and still kicks, 16-year-olds.
That's true. But my thing is like if I like once I have kids, I feel like I will just have zero time for Smash.
I'm.
If
I
I
mean, that
ever
could be
have,
you.
yeah,
There are adults who have like multiple children in the scene, and still sometimes frequent tournaments.
yeah.
So
I'll show up
if
to
you
it.
go as frequently as you are, maybe not,
Yeah.
but you just have to plan that out.
But that's what I'm saying is like your regular tournament goers now are probably going to be different 15 years from now. I think
Well, yeah,
that's
I mean that'll be I mean even between now and when I started going to tournaments 4 years ago. Actually, I totally missed my anniversary of joining the scene. It was technically February 28th.
mhm.
So got to celebrate that on Twitter. Like I remember a lot of the people that used to go then, and
Oh,
now I look now, and it's like, holy shit, look at the difference.
yeah.
Like there's still some old heads that are still there,
Mhm.
um, but there are a lot of newer faces
Me.
that I enjoy seeing
I'm a new
in the
face.
scene.
Hello.
So
New face
it's
here.
because I'm tech. I don't know if I'm considered an old head because I technically joined the Ultimate community
If you're pre
at the beginning of the game,
I
but
feel
I
like
know some people who have been around since Smash 4,
mhm.
like in the middle of Smash 4 or earlier. So, but now I'm like 4-year veteran of the community. I'm like, man, now I'm old.
That is funny.
I mean that's just me also talking to like Smilo and Brujo.
Those people don't exist. They don't. That high schoolers don't exist. I'm sorry. Middle schoolers even. Wait. I
Crazy.
wanted to say. Shoot. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I feel like if you're pre-pandemic, you're old school alt, and if you're Smash Four, you're just old school.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a good way to put it.
I guess.
You know, like people talk about the Smash Four days, and I'm like, whoa, you guys are talking about something I
I
don't
was
know
there for
anything
the Smash
about.
4 days, but I was not actively attending tournaments. So some of the time, if I'm ever trying to get like player specific information, or if I'm trying to hear like a backstory of this specific player and this interaction, I'm like, oh, I have to ask the older heads because I just wasn't there.
Yeah,
But I kept up with the scene, kind of.
I didn't keep up with like New England. Like I
I
didn't.
didn't either.
Yeah, like I didn't even know where tournaments were until like post pandemic. Like until I like asked somebody like in my college Discord. I was like, "Yo, does anyone know where we can find tournaments?" Cuz like that's how I got into the scene. So basically like I went to a tournament at my college. I got top 8 at my first college tournament. I got like 5th. I was like, "Let's go. I'm nasty." Um I got top 8 and then um we did like Central Connecticut University did like a collegiate crew battles. Our college got washed, and we were like, everyone was like so motivated. We were like, we're gonna grind. We're gonna go to the next one. We're gonna mess everyone up, and we were like, let's go to there was a local up in Windsor. We were like, we're gonna go to the Windsor local. It's like an hour away. We're gonna carpool. Like the next week.
Is that Hog?
No. Hog is in Wallingford. We didn't even know about Hog. But there was a tournament in Windsor. It used to be Lights local. It's where uh, uh, um, Hold the Line was held. It was the same venue. Also,
That's GVS Synergy, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember what the local was called.
I remember that tournament series, but I
Yes.
never went to it.
It was Great Value Smash. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. And so like we were like we're gonna go to this tournament. We're gonna carpool or whatever. And we like had it all set. The next week, like schools were closed. It was COVID, and it was like, well, that sucks. And it was like, and then like as soon as like the pandemic happened and like all this stuff happened, and like Hog was having like their locals were like capped. So I could never get into Hog because I never signed up quick enough because like they always released it when I was at work. So I could never go to Hog because their tournaments were capped entrance for safety reasons. So I ended up like traveling like an hour and a half to Eastside Games because like their tournaments weren't capped and like I was actually off on Thursdays on a consistent basis. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll go to Eastside Games. So that was like 2021. So I didn't go to my first tournament till 2021, and then like I didn't even start commentating till 2022 in the summer when I went to Vortex and I asked Ajax. I was like, could I was wondering if you guys needed anyone for commentary. He was like, okay, sure. Because he like really didn't have anyone interested in it in that way. He was just kind of throwing players on back and forth. So yeah, that's my whole spiel.
Funny little update. Meister just turned 23.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, he's a youngin. I called him a
He's slightly
youngin like
younger
I'm
than me, which is crazy.
I called him a youngin like I'm 60.
You're younger than him.
Yeah. I am younger than him. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was only a year younger than him. That's crazy.
Okay. Do we want to end the podcast here?
Do we want to end the podcast here? No, there's one thing I would like to say.
Okay.
I feel like getting into Melee commentary and getting into Smash Ultimate commentary is a completely different completely different thing. And I'm gonna send you a tweet in the Discord. This is like how they think. And like they kind of like gatekeep comms to people who are good at the game.
You shouldn't be. Hold on, I'm gonna read this off for the people watching, unless you like pop it on the screen. Now.
I'm gonna pop it.
You
I'm popping
shouldn't
it.
be allowed to want to be a commentator unless you have been going to tournaments for 5+ years. That is bullshit.
I mean,
if that's specifically for Melee, or even if it's not just specifically for Melee, because some games aren't even 5 years old. That is absolute utter bullshit. You can learn the game extremely fast if you're efficient about it and be competent.
Well, that's
really fast.
That was his other point. He was like, or you have to be like really good at the game. And I was
you don't
like,
have to be good at the game.
I know, but
There
there
are sports broadcasters that have never played like the sport that they broadcast. They're just good at talking about it.
Yeah.
And they understand like the intricacies of the game.
Yeah.
But you could also be a really good player and then become a commentator, kind of like Armada does, where, you know, he was a god at the game for Melee for years.
Yeah.
And then he's done commentary here and there for Genesis and
Yeah.
other events.
I just thought this tweet was funny because I saw it on my timeline, liked by like a few Melee community heads, and I was like, dang, this is really how they feel. And I was like, they aren't. I honestly don't think they're that wrong because like I think what he is trying to say is basically like you have to like earn your stay in the scene. You can't just like show up and be a commentator. You gotta like make friends, You know,
Well, yeah.
like
I mean,
I
but
think
that's anyone.
I think that's like what he's trying to say is like you can't be you can hop on comms at your local, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like wanting to just like your personality being a commentator, like when you've only been going to tournaments for like I don't know 3 months, 6 months, is like it's just a weird it's just a weird personality to have. Is basically the point he was trying to make.
I mean, yeah. If you're like a local commentator that just goes to your locals and just gets on the mic, you're a commentator.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like you're trying to do something bigger than that. That's
Yeah.
not discrediting you as a commentator. That's just saying you're kind of low on the totem pole
Yeah.
compared to someone who I guess has been longer around the scene and has done monthlies, regionals, majors, invitational events, and such and such. But that's just
Yeah.
that's weird gatekeeping.
I just wanted to say I was like, dang, this is what I'm competing with. I was like I love Melee so much, and you know, like it's so much more of a harder community to really be a part of. I think a lot of people
For commentary or in general?
just in general, like I think a lot of people are just like talk about how everyone like has their own cliques. So if you're like new, it's like hard to get people to know. And I think a lot of people
it's like any social group.
yeah, no,
You could
I
have that in Ultimate too.
I agree, but I feel like I've had an easier time in Ultimate personally from my own experiences, which doesn't mean like I don't think anyone's doing anything wrong. I just think it's like it's just very funny how intimidating like the whole Melee scene can be. Like from a game that I've watched for literally like 8 years, like I just like it's to not like feel welcomed in a space is so weird because like I watch the same tournaments that they watch. I like we all like should share things in common, but we just don't, and it's like weird, you know. So, but yeah, I'm still going to Hog like every week. I went yesterday. I got my first tournament game win in
Ooh, yeah.
in Melee yesterday. That was pretty hype. Every game went last stock against the Marth, and I was feeling really good, but I just couldn't move. But yeah, I just wanted to say that like I was feeling a little down about this because I was like, dang, I love Melee so much and I want to commentate it, but I can't. I was like, this is how those people think, and that kind of sucked. But yeah, that's like
Just work hard, do your job.
yeah.
And network.
I'm gonna get really good at Melee.
That's
now I'm really motivated to get good at Melee. At least I found motivation somewhere, you know?
Yeah, that's the goal. And with that, we are going to be ending the podcast here with the Gerd and Waffle Experience part number 2.
Yes.
We'll have to figure out if we're going to do a podcast next week. Next week is Collision 2023.
We should just do it on like
where
Thursday or Wednesday. Sometime when
we'd have to do it Thursday afternoon because I'm traveling Thursday night. For
yeah, that would work. Yeah.
We'll coordinate.
We'll coordinate.
That's stuff we'll talk about after the podcast is done. We'll figure out if we want to do a Collision pre-podcasts then, so we can talk about that. Maybe Ritual and or Snivy can join us on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
the week after, I'm skipping ahead because in case we don't do the Collision podcast, we have the CT GamerCon pre-podcast and the Collision post-podcast.
Yes.
That one's gonna be a banger because we get to talk about everything that happened after Collision, and I get to talk about everything that's happening for GamerCon, and we will know who's got what blocks for commentary.
Yes. And
So
and
that's
and,
gonna be a good podcast.
and I'm gonna leak right now. I have top 8 of GamerCon. No way! Woo!
That's
Oh
gonna
my
be it
God.
for us. We're
Bye.
gonna end the video now. Thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll be next week, and
See you later.
follow me below. You can follow Waffle.
I don't really care if you
over
follow
there.
me. You probably already follow me. If you
Ritual
watch
is working in the Discord call because audio is not synced up.
if you-
follow her below, and Snivy is
it's Snivy.
at work. So follow Snivy at that.
It's
weird
funny,
link.
we
Okay,
do-
bye.
it's funny.
Bye.